All righty. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see.
Good morning.
Okay.
How are you this Friday?
I'm doing just fine, boss. Let's get some people in here into this chat. There's Carrie.
Carrie? See you. Good morning. Who else is coming? I had a pretty good crowd yesterday.
Oh, awesome.
Lively crowd.
Very nice. Oh, by the way, so your hat In-N-Out Burger, I heard a few days ago their corporate is moving to Tennessee.
Yeah, I did a podcast on that a few weeks ago, California Stories. Sometimes I do California Stories.
Okay.
And I said, it's actually they're opening an office or like a new kind of headquarters. They still have the headquarters here, but all the head staff, including the owner, are moving to Tennessee. And she said,
okay.
California is too difficult to raise a family here, and all the problems in California.
And do business, yeah.
Yeah, and I just said if there's one thing that says California, it's In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah,
that just
totally. That's a big deal.
That we Californians are as proud of In-N-Out Burger as we are of anything we could possibly be, and to have them move and say we can't make it here is just like the ultimate. To me, I said this is the ultimate California story. This is the ultimate, statement of the state of California. It's a mess. You can lose. How are you going to lose In-N-Out Burger? The best thing you had, at least food wise. That's business model too. I mean, do you have it there?
Oh, we do actually. Yeah. Well, it came to Texas a while ago.
Oh, my brother-in-law went nuts. His family was worried about it. Oh, it's like, oh, my God, Dad has In-N-Out Burger within reach now, because he would come to California and eat it every day. And so I remember my nephew put on Facebook, he goes, "Oh no, my In-N-Out's coming to Texas. My dad, what's going to happen to him?"
Well, there aren't as many, obviously, in California as there aren't as many here as there are in California, but there's a bunch. They came down a long time ago.
Yeah, and I bet people go a long way to get them too, right?
Oh yeah, it's really. Although I will admit, we can give some time for more people to come in.
Yeah,
I will admit though, there is a pretty fierce debate between what's better, Whataburger.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty fierce.
Nah, I've had both. Sorry.
I've had both too.
Sorry, Whataburger. You're a good burger, but you ain't no In-N-Out.
I will admit, I definitely do love how In-N-Out hides Bible verses.
Yeah.
If you pay attention, you'll find them. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. It's such a well-run organization, and just you go in and out, you know what you're going to get, and you're going to get it quick, and it's just fantastic. So, anyways.
Okay. Well, if you want, we can go and get started if you like. We got Carrie and Lucas here.
Lucas is here. Cool.
Looks like Michael's going overboard.
Oh, as usual.
As usual.
We need a big hook cane like they used to have in the theater. Pull that guy off.
All right. So
I guess he's done.
Here we go. It's funny we're talking about that, how people and celebrities, businesses have been fleeing California since, I would say, 2020, maybe even just before 2020. In this context, we're talking about politicians fleeing Texas, but not for valid reasons. So the big news, let me pull this up here before I start playing it. The big news is that the Texas Democrats have fled the state in order to prevent a vote happening in the Texas legislature. So basically, this is all about redistricting. In other words, gerrymandering. And, every state has its pros and cons. Every state does gerrymandering. It's been a thing. But basically, because so many more people are now shifting towards the right in Texas, the Republicans have more control. So the Republicans are now redistricting, and the Democrats don't like how they're redistricting in it. So instead of staying there, representing their constituency, instead of actually doing their job and fighting for more votes, they run away. They flee. And here's a quick little update on what's happening with that.
Abbott just followed.
Oh, let me increase the volume. Here we go.
an emergency petition with the Texas Supreme Court to remove the ringleader, Democrat caucus chair Gene Wu, from office entirely. Now, as I understand it, while Governor Abbott does have the authority under Texas's Constitution to enforce a member of the Texas legislature to vacate their seat if they abandon their post, Abbott's playing it very smart here. He's going to the Texas Supreme Court, which, if you don't know, is hard right. There are 9 Republicans and 0 Democrats on the Texas Supreme Court. So he's going to the court to have them order Wu's seat vacated. And as of today, the Supreme Court has dropped the hammer. They are ordering that Wu must respond to Governor Abbott's charges by 3 p.m. Friday. So we'll see how things flesh out in the next 24 hours. But let's just say I would not want to be Representative Wu at this time. Meanwhile, as we reported yesterday, the Texas legislature just issued arrest warrants for every single one of these runaway Democrats. And Texas lawmakers are now calling for they want to see an even more punitive redistricting map to be drawn in retaliation against this ridiculous stunt. Here's Texas Representative Brian Harrison.
For every 1 week the Democrats are gone, 1 more Republican seat gets added to the map. So if they're gone 1 week, instead of our new maps having 5 more Republican seats, they're going to have 6. Democrats gone 2 weeks. Well, we went from +5 to +7. It's time to play hardball. I'm sick of the Democrats fighting harder for the future of Texas than Texas Republicans are. Let's change that. Let's get this going. For every week they're gone, let's amend the map. 1 more Republican seat.
Okay, so basically, it's getting pretty wild. And actually, right now, as we're doing this, Dr. Turley is doing his own live stream on this exact topic. So, yeah, we're going to see what happens come 3 p.m. So, yeah, Joel, what are your initial thoughts on this?
Well, what is to me, gerrymandering means there's redistricting, right, which is a legal thing. Gerrymandering, like they do it out here anyways, Democrats do it here. We have districts that are shaped like boa constrictors, just a minute. And I've always heard people say the best redistricting map is just a grid, a square grid,
right?
Let it fall where it may, population wise, and whatever the mix in that grid is a representation of the state. So I haven't really seen what the redistricting map looks like. Is it gerrymandered, or did they go? Because Republicans have always talked about, hey, we need to be more above board about this. We can't make up these weird shaped districts to make sure we get more Republican votes. So I really haven't seen the map itself, but
I found this map here. For those of you who are listening, I pulled up a map here that shows it was like a report card on how well the states are when it comes to their districting. Now, to be fair, this might be leaning towards a certain direction, but
if California is a B, it's leaning towards.
Yeah, I mean, look at New York; it's green. No, that's not accurate.
Yeah, no, thanks. Illinois, it was Illinois. Yeah, no.
It's Texas. Come on, hold on. I did open this earlier. Okay, well, that was not what I was looking for. So Texas, I can tell you right now, is pretty interesting because it used to be a pretty decent mixture of blue along the border, and then blue little
Austin
blue in Austin, Dallas, Houston, those areas.
Right.
So see if I can. Here we go. So this is actually slightly out of date. So this, because of the recent election, this actually has become red. These areas right here. And the current status shows the only remaining blue pockets are Dallas, this region,
right?
Little bits of Fort Worth here. So you see a little bit of gerrymandering here, how it kind of like snakes around like that. And then if you scroll down to Austin, Again, you got the sweet little sliver all
Right.
the way down here to New
Yeah.
Braunfels and San Antonio, right?
Yeah.
And then the majority of Houston is like that too.
Right.
And the thing is, what's funny is this website gives Texas an F for that, right? But it's funny. These Texas Democrats didn't like how these were being redrawn. So instead of staying there for the vote, they left. But guess where they went to? This is what's so funny. They fled to Illinois. Probably the worst, one of the worst examples of a gerrymandered state. Look at this.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
No, that's California too. Yeah.
Like
So
this right here. From this little whole stretch, not of a city, mind you, like in Texas. This is the entire freaking state. It's like one long sliver from St. Louis all the way to Urhana. And then this whole area, like, get out of here.
Yeah.
And so gerrymandering is a funny topic because on one hand, it can look kind of messed up. It's like, wait a second, you shouldn't be able to, redistrict the map just because your party has majority. Yeah, I get it. But here's the thing. The Supreme Court has actually already ruled on this. And their ruling was simple. Back in 2019, the case was Rucho versus Common Cause. And in fact, I'll pull it up right here. And basically, the ruling was not a problem. Supreme Court said it's not a federal issue. This is strictly a state issue. So basically, every state does its own thing with redistricting and gerrymandering. And so the thing is, it goes both ways. If you're a Republican, obviously you're going to be mad against Democrats for gerrymandering their districts. If you're Democrat, you're going to be mad about Republicans. That's fine. If you're mad, guess what? You stay, you do your job, you get out to your people, you fight for your constituency to eventually get the more votes you need and so on and so forth. That's not what they did. They up and just left to stop the democratic process. And and Turley made a great point on this. He's like, the Democrats are the first ones to say the phrase, this is a threat to our democracy. We're fighting for our democracy, all that garbage, right? But what do when things don't go their way?
They subvert democracy, yeah.
Oh, hey, Joel, you're coming in muted, just so you know.
I am? Let me see. Hold on here.
Try again.
How am I now? Am I good?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. You are muted.
Okay.
Can't quite hear you.
I am muted.
So no, sorry about that.
I'll do the same thing I did. I'll leave and come back if anybody.
I'm not hearing anything.
Okay. Anybody can tell him I'm leaving again.
Let's see.
Coming back in. And
hey, anyone in the chat, can you make a quick comment? See if you guys can hear. Oh, never mind. He's out. Okay, so Chloe, I will answer your question here in a minute. We'll let Joel hop back on. No, it's not the first time. If you remember, in 2021, they did this. There was that photo that they stupidly posted on social media of the Texas Democrats on a privately chartered jet, and they fled to DC. And keep in mind, this is during the time when we all had to wear masks on airlines. Guess what they weren't wearing? Masks. Yeah. Here we go. Okay, just two. Joel?
Can you hear me?
That's weird. I'm not hearing you at all.
Wow. So,
hey guys in the chat, can you let us know if you can hear Joel?
Chloe says she's hearing me.
Okay.
Still.
That's weird.
Huh.
All right, let me see if there's something on my end. Joel, if you can go ahead and just talk about this topic for a minute. I will get this figured out on my end.
All right, hopefully he does. Yeah, it's funny. I've always heard about this, and like I said, in our district, my district. Oh, you got it? Yeah,
I
my
got it.
district in California, we're tied into a whole nother county, and it's ridiculous. The best thing to do, the most fair thing to do, is just do the square grid, let it fall where it may, and I guess you could make sure you could go by percentage of the vote, and see we need to gerrymander this so we have a representation of how the voter registration is, or how the last presidential election went, or something like that. But there are states that went 45% Republican and 55% Democrat that have no Republican representatives at all, and that's wrong. And that's what the Democrats will do. But they play hardball. And this guy was right. The Democrats play hardball, and because they have more political power than we do, and it's time we did the same thing. If that's the game, we vote for Republicans. If you're a Republican, you vote for the Republican representative to forward your political viewpoint, your worldview. And so if that's what it takes, as long as it's legal, you need to represent your constituents.
Right.
Do what the people sent you there to do.
Right. And this topic is currently developing, so we can't really go into full analysis, but that's where we're at. Now, when it comes to scripture, this is where it gets interesting, because there have been multiple times in scripture when people tried fleeing or tried doubting God's direct call to them. Whether it was Moses initially doubting, God speaking to him through a burning bush, like that wasn't miraculous enough, or Jonah fleeing, and you have him being swallowed by a massive fish. There are so many moments in the Bible when people are directly called by God and they doubt, they question. Today, unless I'm wrong, Joel, today it doesn't seem like God is as direct or as obvious in his calling. Like, there hasn't been a recent moment of a guy saying a burning bush, or an angel coming down directly saying, hey, don't be afraid, like I'm telling you this. Instead, it seems to be more quiet, like God whispering to us, God saying, this is my purpose for you. This is me calling you to do this thing. Joel, has there been a time in your life when you felt called, but you were afraid at first, or you weren't really sure how it's going to work out?
Most of my life, I guess. There's as we face, we're in a battlefield, okay, and especially in California where I am, it's getting worse. And my pastor always says, because a lot of people are getting out of California, a lot of conservative people, a lot of Christian people, because it's getting very difficult to live in this state politically and economically, for sure. And there's a new bill coming through that's going to loosen up the qualifications or the identification requirements for someone to take your child out of school. And this is just like, might as well call it the child abduction promotion bill or something like that, right? And that's another California story I'll go into probably maybe next week. But so my pastor always says, what kind of soldier leaves the battlefield as the battle is beginning? To which I replied to him, okay, what kind of general are you going to be? Because we've had too many generals fold up the tent or go to the other side.
Interesting.
So, but it is, I live in a state where this is more or less a battlefield, very comfortable, sunny, really nice battlefield. But at the same time, we have our challenges here, and that people don't have, certainly in Texas. So, but at the same time, you see, Moses had the burning bush and Jonah had whatever direct communication he had with God. My old pastor used to say, I'm sure people back then, when they didn't hear from God, they're like, I wish God would just write me a letter. Give me a book. Give me like a manual for what I have to do, right? So, and that's what we have. We have God wrote all it down for us, and it's there, and it's pretty.
True.
It's
Good point.
pretty clear, you know.
That's a great point. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, sometimes I would like, you know, a direct revelation from God or direct. And then there are times when I get certainties
hmm
from God. I just at my daughter's wedding, at the father of bride, I did a little speech, and one of the things I said was, as soon as I met our daughter when she was 6 years old, I knew exactly what was going to happen. You're going to walk this girl down the aisle, and you're going to be up there with the microphone in front of everyone. What are you going to say about this girl? And I'm just like, and God just said, this is going to happen, and you're going to be part of it with this extremely unique individual. I mean, our daughter's just at 6 years old. I knew it. I'm like, this is, you meet sometimes you meet people that, oh, this is an impressive person. This is a person I can admire and almost look up to, right?
Mm-hmm.
It rarely happens with a 6-year-old girl, but it did with our daughter, right? And so, and then afterwards she said, well, how does God talk to you? And I said, I don't get a clear voice. I'm not one that, says I have a word from the Lord, or the Lord spoke to me directly, because we have his word. So hopefully I know his word well enough. And, 95% of God's will is that is written in the word. I want to find God's will for my life. We'll do the 95%, and he'll help you with the 5%. And that should give you confidence to do his general will. You should know that well enough to then do his specific will he has for you. So, and whenever God did talk to someone in the Old Testament, the first thing the angel or whoever it was said to them was, fear not. Don't be afraid, because it's a fearful thing to be. It should be to be in front of a burning bush, or in front of an angel of the Lord, right? Which the angel of the Lord, a lot of people think was Jesus, right? So that's a fearful thing. But God says specifically, don't be afraid, because you're not behind this. I'm not relying on you. I'm going to be with you, and I'm going to empower you to do this. So ideally, because we have this manual, this written down, this is the way to do it. God said, this is the way to do it. Just read this and know it. We shouldn't be afraid.
Here's the thing. I found this, and it just really, really hits to the core. This is like an image here, and it says, when God wanted to make a king out of David, he sent him Goliath, not a crown.
Okay.
I love this, because when those times in your lives happen, you're not going to be given the thing you want necessarily. You're going to be given the obstacle. God will gladly send you your Goliath, because he knows you can do it. He knows you are meant for this. But when you see that Goliath, whatever that Goliath may be, you're going to feel afraid. Of course you are. You're going to be scared at first. But this leads us into, are you going to run away? Or are you going to fight that Goliath? And we can finish up today's video with this beautiful verse from Psalms. This is Psalm 91. We'll start at 5. Joel, if you can do me a favor, in the most epic voice that you have, if you could read 5 and 5 through 7, then I'll finish up.
Okay, should I do Morgan Freeman or James Earl Jones? What should I do?
Oh, good question. Let's go with James Earl Jones.
No, this is the best. I'll try it an octave lower. How's that?
Right.
You will not be afraid of the terror by night, or of the arrow that flies by day, of the plague that stalks in darkness, or of the destruction that devastates at noon. 1,000 may fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not approach you.
You will only look on with your eyes and see the retaliation against the wicked. For you have made the Lord my refuge, the Most High your dwelling place. no evil will happen to you, nor will any plague come near your tent, come near you. And basically, to finish up, it just says, because he loved me, I will save him. I will rescue him, I will honor him, I will satisfy him with long life, I will show him my salvation. He will call upon me, and I will answer him. So, I mean, all of that, to me, really sums up the point. It's like, you have your duties, whether they be of this earth or they're divine.
Right.
Every day we gotta ask ourselves, when that duty becomes a Goliath, what are you going to do? Are you going to run away and flee? Or are you going to say, no, I'm going to do this. It's going to be hard. It's going to be challenging. It might even kill me, but I'm going to do this.
Yeah. And you know, that probably the best, we don't have the situations that are described here in the Psalms, right?
Right.
So that's not what we face. We don't face 10,000 people dying at our side. You know, we're not, and this was literal. This is what life was back then. But because, you know, think of the founding fathers, the things that they faced, because they felt like they were called to God to do what they had to do, right? And they did face, you know, how did all the signers of the Declaration of Independence die? You know, if you read that, you know, hanged and shot and whatever, right? Ruined, financially ruined. You know, they had every reason to be afraid. And I'm sure you know, we've talked about the show John Adams before, right?
Oh, yeah.
In that scene where they read the response from the king to the olive branch letter, right? And they all just kind of had this look on his face. And the guy who played Dickinson was really good. He's like, now we know. And Ben Franklin says, if we don't hang together, we're going to hang separately, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
no going back now.
And because, and they really felt like it was a calling of God. And if we, you know, say as you want, the Bible wasn't involved in this. The Bible was very involved in this. And their Christian faith was very central to all this. Because they did that, we don't really have a lot to be afraid of. And yet we still are, because, you know, our Goliaths are pretty puny compared to the real Goliath, and compared to the Goliath that the people that came before us who were faithful in this kind of thing were willing to face. So, but at the same time, I mean, you know, there is risk in anything, but if it's worth doing, you know, and like I said, the manual is right. We've got the manual. We know what we need to do. It's just a matter of whether we can be faithful to do it. So.
And the thing is, we all know the one true King. We know what is right, and we know those moments when we are called. Each of us know that. The trick is, it's like, I know exactly what I need to do. It's already there. I just have to do it. And that's the hardest part, is just do it, you know. Well, guys, I got to head off pretty soon. I have a meeting I got to get to for work. But Joel, if you could sign us off, I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's like the angel of the Lord always says, people, do not be afraid. Fear not. We know the King. We're on the winning team. So if we do have trouble in this life, you know, we shouldn't shrink away what God has called us to do. So
absolutely,
because He's promised to be faithful, and He's promised to be with us. So, and even things do go bad, the God of the universe is still with us. He still promises to be with us in our troubles. So we can't lose.
Right. Well, as always, Patriots, have a wonderful day. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys next week. Joel, take care.
Ben, thank you.
God is in charge.
Amen.